Sup, dumpers? Yes, I got a new haircut. Yeah, it's shorter than I wanted. No, I'm not cosplaying as Lester Nygaard from Fargo Season 1.
Is this what you want?
So recently, I've been looking to change phone carriers, as you do, and one kept popping up on my radar, this budget service called Mint Mobile. You've probably heard of them by now, but come to find out, Ryan Reynolds is not only the face of the company, but he also owns a portion of it too. This led me to deep dive a bit more and discover that his own advertising company has become the one-stop shop for all Ryan Reynolds-centric ads, and not just Mint Mobile. And it really got me thinking about the evolution of this Canadian-born actor turned A-list celebrity, and how he's used his status and platform to, in a sense, revolutionize the medium as a whole. So everyone's aware of who Ryan Reynolds is. Either you know him all the way back from his Van Wilder days, or as Mr. Deadpool, or just public perception. But at what point did this hunk of a man go from your standard pretty boy actor to one of Hollywood's biggest names? Simply put, that success came with time, talent, and effort. Maximum effort, to be specific, but we'll get to that soon enough. Before we jump into it, why don't you subscribe and stick around for a bit? I got a ton of videos and I'm trying to get 200 subscribers by the start of summer, so every little bit counts. So let's start at the beginning of it all with how Ryan Reynolds got into the film industry in the first place. So his career actually started at a much earlier age than I had previously thought. Hailing from Canada in the early 90s, Reynolds started his acting career at the early age of 15. He first appeared on a teen soap opera called 15, go figure, on the Nickelodeon channel back in '91. Ryan continued to book minor roles throughout the decade, but he did also finish high school, enrolled in university, and did end up dropping out. That didn't slow down Reynolds' trajectory though, because in '98 he booked his biggest leading role yet for a series called Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. That series went on for 4 seasons, and after it wrapped, Ryan was cast as the title character in the comedy flick National Lampoon's Van Wilder. And it all pretty much snowballed from there for Reynolds. The 2000s were fairly generous to him, as he was able to book several romantic comedies and other acting roles. Then, in 2009, he played the character of Wade Wilson in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which can be seen as a star of his A-list status. Add in several superhero movies, comedies, and action flicks since then, and we've pretty much arrived to Ryan Reynolds as we know him today. However, being the intelligent man that he is, Reynolds started diversifying his assets in the past decade since his wealth and success had started to grow exponentially. So, Ryan did the only logical thing left to do. He started an ad agency based off of a joke in one of his movies. So before we jump into it all, my sources and references are down in the description right below the like button if you want to follow along and see what I'm referencing. Alright, back in 2016, Reynolds had finally accomplished his longtime goal of starring in the first ever portrayal of Deadpool, the anti-superhero. For those unaware, he had shopped around the idea to Fox producers for a while, but back in July of 2014, some test footage was mysteriously leaked to the public. No one knows for certain who let the Deadpool out of the bag, but that didn't matter. Fans loved what they saw, and instantly the movie was greenlit. That said, the struggle wasn't over for Reynolds, as the budget for the film kept getting slashed, and 20th Century Fox never really had confidence in the idea in the first place. But according to this Entrepreneur article, Ryan was able to make a successful ad campaign by joining forces with George Dewey, one of the studio's marketing executives. Dewey actually has quite the extensive background in the world of advertising, most notably for spending over a decade with McCann. For the old-timers watching, they're the ad agency behind the Buy the World a Coke campaign, and for you younglings, they're the ones that did the Dumb Ways to Die brand and identity.
Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die.
Anyways, after the duo nailed the promotions for Deadpool 1, they decided to continue their winning streak and start an ad agency / production company, and in turn called it Maximum Effort! And I'd say how the marketing group started really encapsulates what it's all about now and explains how Reynolds and Dewey have been so successful ever since. They may not have the biggest budgets or the most high-profile clients, but you can tell they definitely care about what they're doing and want to bring a positive change to the world around them. Take, for instance, the Peloton ad debacle from 2 years ago. Quick context for those that missed it or just don't remember, the health and lifestyle company Peloton put out an ad in late 2019 for the holiday season. It showed a wife who was overly trendy and way too enthusiastic about an exercise bike her husband had gifted her the year before.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Now.
A Peloton?
A year prior to this, Reynolds had acquired ownership in a liquor company called Aviation Gin. So when the Peloton ad premiered and was instantly regarded as tone-deaf and cringy, Ryan jumped on the opportunity to bring on Monica Ruiz for a commercial. She's the Peloton actress.
This gin is really smooth.
Yeah.
And in this clip from The Tonight Show, Ryan talks about his thought process for bringing her in on the ad so quickly after the downfall.
How did you pull this off and why did you do this? And
Well, like, you know, I've been there in that position as an actor where you do something that doesn't quite work, and I really wish somebody from a gin company called me right after Green Lantern and was like, hey, like, I got something funny you can do as an answer to that.
To add on to that, Ryan spoke more on the matter just this year through that same entrepreneur article from earlier. When we were working on our Peloton Aviation Gin ad, all we were doing is really just acknowledging the cultural landscape in that moment and doing it in a way that doesn't attack Peloton. The way Reynolds, Dewey, and the team are doing things over at Maximum Effort have already made a huge impact on the world of advertising. In just about every article I read, the agency was described as quick and efficient and being able to cut through red tape fairly easily. And I'd say that's due to Ryan's viewpoint on the business. He didn't go to advertising school, but frankly, he didn't have to. He's at a place in his career where he can just make things happen without having to worry about dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. So as Reynolds grew his portfolio of business ownership, cross-promotion soon became the norm for Maximum Effort's branding.
Better. Samsung QLED TV.
Oh,
Aviation Gin.
how'd that get there?
But the collabs don't stop there. Being who he is, Ryan has been known to loop in his celebrity friends and acquaintances in on the action too.
So I guess the holidays aren't about forgiveness after all.
No, as always, it's an emotional brawl with friends, loved ones, also hated ones.
Right, yeah.
That said, Reynolds and team do a pretty good job of thinking outside the box and making their ideas really stand out from the rest. For instance, their recent string of Mint mobile ads are set within a Mint field, and they bring in notable people to read lines of copy. One in particular that I'm a big fan of is they are able to bring in long-retired actor Rick Moranis just because they wanted to.
So why am I here?
I'm just a huge fan.
Oh, stop it. Come on,
No,
stop it.
seriously. Massive.
That's it?
That's it.
And to wrap up the celebrity cameo references, we'll jump to one of the more recent ad campaigns from Maximum Effort. This past holiday season, you might have seen a few Match.com ads with characters representing the year 2020 and Satan himself.
Hi. 2020.
Please. Call me 2020.
But an interesting subtext to that ad is it features one of the first re-recordings of Taylor Swift's discography ever since the shady selling of her master recordings. So in a way, Reynolds is able to take a side on the matter without making it part of the commercial's narrative. Outside of fellow actors and artists, Reynolds has made a good habit of using his agency to give back to those in need. Back at the start of the pandemic, Aviation Gin donated 30% of its profits of that time towards unemployed bartenders. Additionally, around the 2019 holiday season, sizable donations were made both to the Laughing Man Foundation and the Sick Kids Foundation. And these acts of kindness and generosity can really help us understand what's to come from Ryan Reynolds and Maximum Effort in the future. Just using context clues from everything we learned today, I think Reynolds is in it to win it with Maximum Effort. That isn't to say that he's going to try and make the agency the most profitable company there's ever been. In fact, if anything, I think he's going to try and avoid that. Sure, you need money to make money, but their strategy of lower budgets, lax deadlines, and story-first creative really make them a step ahead of the rest. Not to mention the fact that their marketing strategies are all focused on digital placements as opposed to out-of-home or traditional outlets. It shows that they know what the future of the industry looks like and that they're there for it. Honestly, no one in the world of advertising is doing it quite like Maximum Effort. But with a name like that and that same attitude behind it, it's only a matter of time before the rest of the industry follows suit and hopefully improves. Well, Dumpers, that about does it for Season 3, last video. In the bag. If you liked what you saw today, maybe consider subscribing and sticking around for a bit, because Season 4 premieres in only a few days, and we've got some goodies in the works for you. Major shout out to Johnny Fitz for becoming the latest Andy Patron Pal. If you too want to support me and the channel, you can find that link in the description down below. But as always guys, I've been Andy, you have been Dandy, and thank you for watching.